Disclaimer: do not try anything you see on this video. I have a complete and utter disregard for my own safety. Yeah, she's getting Jeep wheels. I know the Fusion wheels started the whole project, but as of right now, I can't use them on the front because of the hubs, and I need to get wheel spacers anyway to make it, look good. So for right now, she'll get Jeep wheels for the sake of moving it. And these ones actually hold air, so it's good quality to have in a tire. Whoever drove this Ranger last really got their use out of that rotor. Jeep Ranger Fusion. That should be good. Okay, front end is aligned within reason, and then I got a ratchet strap right there, hopefully holding it where it needs to be, and now I just gotta roll it forward so I can do the same to the back, and then tie it down so I can roll it up to the garage and start working. Look good. Oh, it's just the horn dragging. Alright, plan A didn't work. That's why we always have a plan B. So I quickly thought of a plan B. Found a 4x that'll fit in there as a body mount for right now. Keeps the horn and everything off of the wheel. Rear end's aligned somewhat. I just gotta find a place to put a ratchet strap, because the rear bumper's like gone. I don't think I can strap to that. I don't think it'll hold. So as soon as I figure out how to strap the rear end, then we'll push it back again and readjust the front end and strap that down. I went with the rear bumper. It's only got to be for a couple of days, right? Oh, yeah, that's good enough. Well, the back decided to go a little sideways at the last minute, but it's not bad. And the front is pretty much perfect. So now we just use my makeshift tow rope over here that I got tied to the tie rods. Maybe it'll help steer. That's the plan. Plan B worked great, so I don't know, this plan should go great. Alright, just a second. Jeep wheels, Ranger frame, Ford Fusion in the moonlight. Just another pig pen Saturday night. Okay, so mower's out of gas, but we made it this far. House is, well, you can't see the house. House is right up there. I had to clean the garage tonight anyway, so this is where she'll sit. Got it up here. I really need to get another camera set up so I can film while I'm doing stuff, because you missed all the good shots of me almost running myself over and falling on the concrete right there, trying to pull it in, smashing my elbow. Would have been great content. Haven't really decided what I'm doing for body mounts yet. How I'm going to tackle this beast. Because obviously, this is going to be really high up. Which isn't a terrible issue, aside from, you know, swaying back and forth, possibly. Haven't decided if the fuel tank's coming out. Ideally, I wanted to use that if it would cooperate with this motor. If the pressures weren't that different, then theoretically I can just figure out a way to hook the line up and run it off of that. But I think it would allow me to drop it down a little better if I did take the tank out. Of course, we're bottomed out right here anyway, so I don't know how much lower I can even go. The front end needs to go up a little bit anyway, so this will sit lower. Whether or not the fuel tank will be an issue there, I don't know. I got another plan for another tank if we got to pull that one out. It just would have been convenient. My current plan for the front after the body mounts are done is that I should just be able to slap the fusion rad in here and just hook the tubes up and everything, and it should work. I don't know. We'll know if it overheats and or blows a radiator up. More bricks. This whole project is actually just me moving bricks around. Nothing else. Got all the bricks up here. Now we just gotta set up the lift. Safety. Oof. Again with these precarious situations. All set up, lifted on 4 corners. By the way, if you want to know where I got my 4-post lift from, check Home Depot. I wanted all 4 corners to be height adjustable, but I think this jack's past its ability. Yeah, and I didn't have another used rim that wasn't already mounted up, so I'm sitting on a brand new one. Hopefully I don't scuff it up too badly. Alright, bumper's been deleted. And fuel tank's just floating there. Now I just gotta disconnect the fill tube, pull that out. Okay, that was definitely something I should have done before I put the car on, but it's out of there. I gotta siphon the gas. It's probably, well, yeah, it's like 6-year-old gas, but I'll put it in the lawnmower. And then now we're all freed up down here. I'll have to do some alignment, lower the car down, but for the most part, this will hit right. I mean, these two are going to be the worst. That one's going to be easy, because I can't really change anything here, so it's going to sit where it sits. We can't move the car any further forward, so this is what we got to work with. I'm just going to lower it down. Whether or not I keep those bushings depends. I might just cut a rubber strip and drill a hole in it. We'll see how it all lines up. Well, it's 4 in the morning. I can't work on the car because I need to make loud noises. So I'm putting way too much effort into these rusted out wheels. They're both pretty much garbage in the back, like almost rusted through, but what the hell, we'll throw some paint on it. Well, it was a little cold for painting this morning, so I kept having to heat everything up with the propane torch. It turned out pretty nice though, from a distance anyway. Alright, well, we got her where we want her pretty much. I'd like the front to go down a couple of inches, but I gotta get the helper jack out and lift it up by the corner and take a block out. That's sitting right on there. Taking the fuel tank out really helped free some space up back here eventually, or maybe today, I don't know if I got the material for it, but I can build some sort of bracket to go across the frame and bolt these holes and do the same in the back there. Drill a hole right through that and put a bolt through the floor. And then I gotta make some sort of stilts to go there and in the front. Well, this is all I found for usable steel out there. Kind of surprised. The sheer amount of garbage back there. I thought there'd be more. Obviously, that's not really what I need. I'm half thinking we just go full retard and make them out of 4x. Go back and fix it later when we have more resources. I don't really have any money to be putting into this project, so we're just going with what we can find in the backyard. Well, things aren't really going my way. I'm out of cutoff wheels. I don't have the right steel for the job. And both my glue guns over here need work anyway. So I guess we're gonna half-ass it. I don't really have anywhere I can go from here. And I want that sitting on the frame with the steering hooked up by daylight. I don't know if I'm going to get the steering hooked up, but I at least want it fastened to the frame in a fashion where I can possibly put it around the yard if we get it running. So I guess that's the goal I'm going to work for. Alright guys, don't judge me too hard. This is what I got going on. 4x. I found this chunk of aluminum. 4x. Got a hole drilled through that 4x. Not all the way, but just enough to seat that stud in that's coming out of there on both sides. Then the 4x is notched out so it'll fit into the aluminum. And the aluminum stock is, of course, just sitting on the frame. But it keeps it level, keeps it where I need to be. Shouldn't interfere with the fan. And as long as I can put some kind of radiator in here, it shouldn't be that big of a deal. Then in the back, we got that 4x, which has holes drilled through it for those studs, and it's actually got a nut on one side. Not on both sides, because this stud was snapped off, so that's just kind of sitting in there like an alignment pin. And now I just gotta lift up the body so I can get this lifting shit out of here that I don't need anymore. And it'll be sitting on technically 4 body mounts. Well, technically sitting on 6 body mounts because it's sitting on that one too. Now the only ones not done are those two, which isn't ideal. And obviously it's not ideal because it's made out of wood, but it'll allow me to drive it around the yard, which is all I really need right now. I gotta put lag bolts in the bottom to those 4x's, and then I'm probably just going to, do a ratchet strap on the front and back. It'll hold it as much as I need it to. I gotta cut that shaft off of the steering column of this cab, and I was just gonna pull the whole steering column and bring it up there, but I'm all out of grinding wheels anyway, so it wouldn't save me any time, so I'm just gonna hack it off here. Then I gotta go over to the Fusion subframe and cut the shaft off of the gearbox for the, or the steering rack for the Fusion, so that I can kind of make an adapter of sorts. That was horrible. Let's go do it again. There's a little guy. This might work out pretty good, actually. Again, horrible. Okay, this is the plan. Ford Ranger steering column. Ford Fusion stubby from the steering rack. Ford Fusion steering column. That should work. I'll just drill, I gotta clean this up, then drill a hole through both of them for set screw, and call her a day. Throw her in that thing, and then it'll be a solid vehicle. Well, that didn't take too long. I got the steering shaft installed. So now, my only issue is that there's multiple U-joints in this, and that shaft doesn't stay put. So I don't know how that's gonna work out. I'm thinking I'm gonna drill a hole through that and put a pin in anyway, because it moves up and down in there like a slide, obviously, with the splines. So I gotta put a pin in that so it doesn't move, and then it won't jam up as bad. It still has multiple U-joints in it, so I predict it's always going to be an issue until I figure out a way to mount a bearing over there. But for now, it'll work. Well, I got a hole halfway through it, and then I was like, I could just put a screw in it. So then I snapped the screw off, but it holds. Then I put the cover back on, so we'll consider that done. Alright, I got some weight taken off the front end so I don't blow out my steering column. Ooh! Okay. Well, you can't really see that, but it works. Well, steering's done. Temporary body mounts are done. 2 wheels are painted. I'd paint the front ones, but I don't feel like it. So, I guess that concludes this video. I don't really have anything else to do right now. But, tune in next time when we figure out where to mount everything in the engine bay. I think that's the next project. And maybe seeing if this motor pops off. I haven't done anything with this motor. I've grabbed the belt and it turns over, and that's all I've done. I have no clue what's wrong with it, why it was parked. I assume it was parked because of the brake rotor. Maybe the brake locked up, and that's why it got parked, among other reasons, but alright. Like and subscribe if you'd like to continue seeing me do stupid shit like this. I'm gonna do it anyway, but if you like and subscribe, you'd be more likely to see it. See you next time.